Спасибо. Огонь по готовности. Quadruple, quintuple kill. Go.
Hey, this is Notser. We're in the Tier 10 US destroyer, Gearing. She has 6 127mm guns, 10 torpedoes, 30 AA guns, a surface detect of 5.9 kilometers, top speed 37.8 knots, total health 19,400. For my modules, reduce crit chance on main battery, increase main battery accuracy, rate of fire, reduce the chance of flood and fire, faster rate of shift, concealment. For my commander, situation awareness, basic firing training, last stand, superintendent, advanced firing training, and concealment again. We are on the map Islands of Ice, and yeah, this is the Gearing in 0.5.5 with advanced firing training. Why did I pick up advanced firing training? Well, it's a little bit easier to guarantee that my guns will not be completely destroyed. I have been working to get a game worthy of sharing with you for 0.5.5, and this is a pretty good game. Advanced firing training, as you probably know, it increases the range of the main guns. It also increases the AA range, which is also helpful if you have defensive fire, which I do. We live in a world where hydroacoustic got a huge buff across the board, so there's less and less defensive fire in use. Now we ran into an enemy Zao. We were just moving forward, trying to screen for our team. I was looking to run into an enemy destroyer. We ran into something a little bit bigger. I tell my team, hey, go after Dubstep. He's showing a perfect broadside. Both of the enemy, the Zao and the Baltimore, have taken huge citadels. We sent our torpedoes against the Baltimore. It looks like he's going to maneuver away since he took a huge citadel, and I understand that. We open up on the enemy Zao, and you can outrange the detection for the guns with advanced firing training. I noticed that there's enemy dive bombers incoming. I have decided we are going to try and intercept, destroy, whatever, protect our team. Now, I haven't played a tier 8, 9, or 10 aircraft carrier since the added defensive fire. I don't know what the skill is exactly called, but it's a weaker defensive fire that lasts longer. It provides less DPS increase. That's the general idea at tiers 8, 9, and 10. I don't know if the meta has shifted to the point where an aircraft carrier will willingly avoid attacking the enemy aircraft carrier to go after something else, like a Montana-class battleship. We fell behind a little bit. Our AA lost connection, so that's why I'm not using defensive fire. I felt like I wasn't going to get enough out of it to justify it. And the Montana, he can handle himself pretty well against enemy aircraft. We see a Loyang, and I'm going to try and go after him. This is the tier 8 Benson class Chinese destroyer. So anything that Benson can do, he can do just as well. We are a little bit out of range, and I notice my friendly Gearing is engaging. He is spotted, and I see an enemy Gearing also show up. I'd like to get a little bit closer before I open fire and reveal myself. That was my intent. Interesting. An enemy Iowa battleship is moving forward pretty rapidly. This would be very dangerous for him, and I'm interested in making him pay for this choice. Our torpedoes are almost up, and I just love how the US destroyer can make use of torpedoes. They're not going to do as much damage as a Shimakaze. They're not going to move as fast in the water, but they will do effective damage against a target that honestly is overextended and unaware. He doesn't know a destroyer is this close. He probably assumes it's a battleship or a cruiser that's responsible for detecting him. There's no way that he expects me to be this close. There's absolutely no tell. Now, we send a little bit of a lead against the torpedo indicator. I felt like maybe he was going to continue forward, speed up, possibly turn back. He's not been playing correctly thus far. Why would I assume he's going to make the perfect play after the fact? No battleship wants to extend this far forward without backup. Now the friendlies are able to set 2 fires. That forces out damage control on his ship. That's important. He's going to be immune. I decide let's open up. Maybe we can set him on fire again. The immunity is going to last for 10 seconds, 15 seconds. The salvos are landing. Not a lot of damage. It says we set him on fire, but he was still immune, so maybe this torpedo is going to be immune for flood. But wait a minute. His propulsion got knocked out. The immunity would have protected that. He wasn't immune for that torpedo strike. That flood, it stuck. And yes, look at the dot damage. He's healing too. Now, this enemy torpedo bomber's trying to attack my ship. I'm just trying my best to avoid a straight-on torpedo strike. We have an island right next to us that we can use to our advantage. And he drops, I use defensive fire in an effort to make it inaccurate, and it does. 2 of the 3 torpedoes were dropped too close. He's still flooding, by the way. And he's dead in the water. I'm saying, hey, kill the battleship. He's dead in the water. Get him. He can't move. He's perfectly broadside. And they're doing exactly what I asked them to do. They're doing a great job. But we can't get a fire. That's what I want. A fire would really add to this guy's difficulty. And you see that his propulsion has been fixed. Previously to 0.5.5, it probably would have been fixed via damage control. But they have buffed the time that steering and propulsion are knocked out. It's not very long. It's something like 40 or 60 seconds depending on the module, and we're able to get the last shot. We take out the Iowa. Loa Young shows up, and we are working on this guy. First shot takes out his propulsion. Going to force out damage control if it's available. Doesn't look like it is. Okay, finally he did. And we are just trying to make sure we're as neutral as possible. I don't really need the back gun. I will turn every once in a while and have it assist. But you can see we're leading the target well. We're landing our shots. He's really close. We have a huge rate of fire advantage, and we take out the enemy destroyer. And just like that, this flank's probably dead. The remaining 6 enemy ships are all by their base. And I love this patch for my gearing. I love it for my Fletcher. I love it for my Khabarovsk, my Udaloy. The Soviet and the American destroyer lines just became ace lines to go down. If you're looking for a new line to experience, these are the lines you really want to try now. The changes to the turret health have made them extremely powerful, and they've taken away a lot of the frustration. I'm sure a lot of you have played the Ognivo, and that's probably the first Soviet destroyer that really ticks you off, because the turrets would always break, and it only has 2, I believe. You're just so frustrated. I had a Gnevny that had 4 or 5 separate turrets. Even if I lost 2 or 3, it was nothing like losing the Ognivo turrets. And a lot of people would skip the Ognivo, or at least skip a lot of the frustration, get an upgraded hull. But we live now in a world where these ships, I have yet to lose more than a turret in 0.5.5. And I would lose a turret every game at least before that, if not 2. Now, of course, I'm really aggressive. I don't know if you know this, I'm pretty aggressive. So I'm probably an extreme case for the amount of turrets that I would break and still be alive, but still, that was ridiculous. I've got 2 or 3 gearing games where I lose all my turrets. Now my friend, he takes a huge amount of torpedoes, and I was trying to get over to him, obviously not in time to provide AA support, but we could provide anti-destroyer support. There was an enemy destroyer that was somewhere close to the enemy Iowa. Now the enemy Iowa is basically a Montana with 1 less gun turret, so their armor profile is pretty much the same. If the Iowa has more health, it should be able to win in an engagement as long as it has better angling. However, that enemy Iowa is showing a perfect broadside to my friend. He's got a huge advantage here, right? Yeah. So I feel like, okay, he should take him. I'm going to intercept this Fubuki. And boy, is it going to be a surprise. The last time I was spotted, I was on the east side of the map. And any second now, he will be detected, or I will be detected. I'm waiting until I'm actually detected. And, about 100 meters before, we fire. And that's a good habit to get into. You want to hold your shot until the last possible second, but then you unload on him. Look at the damage. He has nothing, absolutely nothing. He dies in probably 8 to 10 seconds, but oh no! 2 enemy cruisers out in the open. We pop our smoke. We're trying to slow down as best as we can. I send one set. There's a huge island in the way. I'm going to send another one. I don't want to just send at an island. That's a waste of time. They fire again. We're trying to be as angled. And previously this patch, those front guns probably would have been gone. We're taking great damage to key parts of the ship, but they're still up. We're still in our smoke. Of course, we're the ones who are scouting, so I need backup if I intend to do damage to them, either in aircraft or destroyers, and I'm not getting either one. I have no idea what those 2 enemy cruisers are doing, and I don't want to find out because both of them had torpedoes. So I was just considering rocking back and forth in the smoke, and you should do this too as a destroyer. Yep, here they come. Keep your momentum ready to move if there's a thought or a threat. Even a threat, you know, you can think about torpedoes, but the threat is real. If there's a threat of torpedoes, then you're in a better position to move out. We caught a little bit of the Zhao. It appeared that he was going to turn a little bit northeast, maybe just east straight. There was an island there. Yeah, you see him now on the map. I think what he's going to do is he's going to come around the island to the right side of that island right in front of us, and we'll have a chance to engage him. Now, we don't have our torpedoes, and I don't know where the enemy Atago goes. Oh, there he is. Okay. We know where both of them are, and the first target that we're going to have an opportunity to fire on is the enemy Atago. And he was initially firing on it from the cruiser, but look at where his guns are pointed. It looks like he swapped to me, and that's very important. He decides, maybe the angling is a little bit too harsh. I'm not going to fire on him. This enemy Zhao, he is rotating his guns. They're looking right at us. Yes, they are. And try and angle. He misses. Try and react when the enemy targets fire. And they're not really working together, which is odd. It seems like they would be teammates based on how they were playing the match. I don't understand why you'd be this close to each other and not focus the same target. Either way, we are doing good damage to the enemy Zhao. Friendlies are also doing good damage to the enemy Zhao. I do not want him to escape. I'm just trying to finish him off, and this is going to be a big shot on my ship. I don't think I'll be able to avoid it. Yep. It set us on fire. We still got 6k left. We set him on fire. I don't know if he has damage control. Doesn't look like he does. I think he's going to burn. Yes, he burns down to our fire. And we just need to avoid this one shot. We're able to avoid it. Good, good. Engage on the enemy Atago. Friendly is firing. Ooh, that was a huge shot. That was a big citadel. Smashed? Who is smashed? Smashed is a battleship. I don't know. Maybe he's a Yamato. Yeah, he's a... Yeah, I think he's out the corner of my eye. I was thinking the Izumo initially, but yeah, the guy's like, good citadel. Yeah, it was a great citadel. He did probably 18,000, 20,000 points of damage. That feels pretty good, and there's only an enemy aircraft carrier. He dies to a friendly. Mutual destruction, I believe. That game was pretty clean. The only thing I regret is I kind of got away from the Montana, but we got 4 kills. 5 fires, 1 torpedo, and it flooded out for a significant amount of time. We did 2,305 base XP. My Montana friend, he's number 1. I'm right behind him. Good job, good team. We did around 80,000 points of damage in a 14-minute match. Not a lot, but we did take out a couple enemy destroyers, and that's what a US destroyer needs to do, counter them. I hope you enjoyed this game. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.